Everyone, I hope everyone's doing absolutely fine. My name is Abhinav Banerjee and I'm back once again with this Bridge Course session on physics for JEE and advanced curriculum. Welcome to day 21 everyone. That's going to be your 5th of May 2025. I hope I am audible to everyone and I'm visible as well. If yes, give a thumbs up and let's start the session, because today we are going to be discussing about the products associated with vectors. We are going to be initiating with dot product. Yeah, hello, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, fine. So let's get started for today's lecture session. I hope that I am audible to everyone and everyone is resting at home, isn't it? Because you know that the heat is scorching on a regular basis and it's summers. So that's why you should be sitting back, relaxing and watching this lecture session, because in order to understand products of vector, you should be knowing the product of sums. And I believe that everyone is aware about product of sums, everyone. So let's get started for today's session. So first of all, before we start the concept of dot product, we need to understand the basics, which is multiplication and division of a vector by a scalar quantity. So the scalar can be anything. It can be any such numerical values, isn't it? So what we are going to do is, okay, thank you Harshit. So what we are going to do is, you can see over here that if there is a vector A and a scalar K, and B is equal to K times of A, and C is equals to A vector by K, where K is greater than 0, then in multiplication of a vector by a scalar, the magnitude becomes K times the direction, and the direction is going to be remaining the same. What they are trying to say that if I am having any vector, let's say, I'm just trying to perform the multiplication. I will write it down over here, that let us say A vector is equivalent to 2i cap plus 3j cap, as an example I am giving. So we have already encountered such situations previously. So if I'm going to mention that it's being multiplied by 2, let's say, it's going to be, the multiplication of it is going to be 2 into 2i cap plus 3j cap, isn't it? That's what our operation which we have to perform. So as a result of that, I will be getting it as 4i cap plus 6j cap. So this we can see that we can easily multiply the scalar with the vector, which we are having it over here, okay? So this is what your multiplication of a scalar with a vector referred as. Now if I try to perform the division of a scalar by a vector, what's going to be happening? Once again, the second example, you can see the second statement. This is the first statement associated with multiplication, and the second statement over here is being given as, in division of a vector by a scalar, the magnitude becomes 1 by k. Only see what is being affected over here. Only the magnitude is changing, but the direction is going to be remaining as it is. Okay. So once again, it's going to be 1 by k times, and the direction is going to be remaining the same. Same as that of the previous case. The direction will remain the same, only the magnitude is going to be different over here. So now what we have to do, once again, I have to take an example. Let's say, I will be taking the example of the same vector, and now I'm, let's say, multiplying it by 8, let's say. Okay. So when the same vector is divided by 8, let's say, then how to write down the operation? The operation is going to be written as 1 by 8 into 2i cap plus 3j cap, isn't it? So as a result of that, I will be getting it as 2 by 8 of I cap plus 3 by 8 of j cap. So it is going to be 1 by 4 I cap plus 3 by 8 j cap. So this is what is going to be the value of it. I hope everyone got it. If yes, give a thumbs up and hit the like button as much as you can. I hope it's clear. Before understanding the products associated with vectors, we need to understand the multiplication of a scalar by a vector. Regardless of the situation, we have encountered such situations for several times. If you can recall the PYQs which we're solving in the previous class, which was being conducted on Sunday. Not on Sunday, on Saturday, isn't it? Sunday was a holiday. I believe that everyone must be solving some questions at their homes. Okay, so now let's try to understand the product associated with two vectors. We are talking about the, okay, once again, it's a very simple thing, Sanjana. we are having a scalar. Scalar means any numerical value, 2, -1, any integer you can take. You just have to multiply with the vector. Okay, so it will be following, you know that 2 will be multiplied by 2 and similarly 2 will be multiplied by 3 as well, regardless of the direction. That's what they are trying to say. Okay, so that's what I am trying to do over here. 2 into 2 is 4i cap plus 2 into 3, that means 6j cap we are getting as the multiplication of a scalar with a vector. Now, always remember one thing, the magnitude is changing. See, how magnitude is changing? Let's say, if I am going to take the example of this 2i cap plus 3j cap, this one. What is the magnitude of it? You know that magnitude of a vector is 2 square plus 3 square, isn't it? Which is 4 plus 9, that is root 13 units, which we are getting it over here, isn't it? But now, after multiplying this with a scalar quantity which is 2, what is going to be the magnitude over here? The magnitude over here is proving out to be equivalent to, now the new magnitude is nothing but 4 square plus 6 square, which is nothing but 16 plus 36, isn't it? Which is going to be root 52 units. So you are able to see that the magnitude is changing. Previously it used to be root 13 units. Now it is changing to root 52 units. But the direction is going to be as it is. If obviously, right, the direction is going to be in the first quadrant. We already have discussed about resolution of vectors, isn't it? Like some people were asking this question over here. So now the same thing is applicable for the division as well. So you can say that the magnitude of this term is going to be changing as well. Okay, I hope it's clear. If yes, give a thumbs up everyone. So now let's try to proceed to the dot products associated with two vectors, isn't it? We need to know about dot products, isn't it? So this is our scalar multiplication is all about, and we are going to be encountering such situations in the upcoming context as well. We are having lots of questions to be solved. There were some questions which were remaining in the previous class, if you can recall. So the same thing will be repeated over and over again. So now let's get started with scalar products. So now we are starting with products associated with vectors. So you can write down products associated with vectors. So there are two types of products which we are going to be dealing throughout our physics curriculum. One is dot product, another one is cross product. Dot product is also going to be referred by the name of scalar product, whereas cross product is going to be referred by the name of vector product. Okay, so what does it mean? So let's get started with the scalar product, because tomorrow we have to understand cross product. But before that, prior to that, let's try to complete the concept of dot product. Okay, so let's get started everyone. So what is being given that the scalar product or dot product of two vectors is defined as, you can write down the definition as the product of the magnitudes with cosine of the angle between them. I will mention you what is it all about. Just hold on for a moment. Okay. So thus, if there are two vectors A and B having an angle theta between them, their scalar products is going to be written as A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. See over here, the dot which I am using, this is an operation. Let me tell you, the dot which I am using it over here, that's an operation. That's no more a multiplication anyone. Okay. So now what we are going to do over here is example work. We are already aware about this equation. I believe that most of you people have already studied about this. Work done is force dot displacement, isn't it? Everyone knows the work done. I believe that everyone knows the work done over here. So now what needs to be done over here in this case? So let's try to understand dot product first. So the operation is already being written over here, is that A dot B is AB cos theta. So how to perform? Let's try to understand this very well. We are having a vector. I will write it down like this. You can note this thing down. Everyone knows product of sums, right? Everyone is aware about the product of sums. Those who are aware about the product of sums, they can give a thumbs up. Okay, सबको product of sums पता है कैसे करते? The same thing is going to be applicable over here as well. So what needs to be done over here? Let's say A vector, let's say it's being given as, I will be taking a value apart from using certain values. Okay, shall I use a value or shall I do it theoretically? Write it down over there in the chat box. Shall I do it by using values or shall I be putting certain terms like AX, AY, AZ. Thank you everyone for the compliment. You can write it down there in the chat box. What do you require with the values? Okay, I will write it down in the form of annotations itself. Okay, we are going to be taking arbitrary. Let's say AX, A vector is AX I cap plus AY j cap plus AZ k cap. Okay, and B vector over here is being given as BX I cap plus BY j cap plus BZ k cap. Now we need to perform A dot B over here. Okay. So now what we have to perform everyone? A dot B. So you can write down like this. A thick dot means this is an operation. Thin dot I will use it for multiplication. Thick dot over here I will mention the value as well. Don't worry. So some of people are voting to use theoretical values, isn't it? Like symbols AX, AY, AZ. And some of you are asking me to use the values. We are having questions from there itself. It will be better for you to understand. But let's try to write down the theory first. Okay. So A dot B, what does this dot means? Dot means the dot product operation which we are trying to perform. The dot product operation over here. Okay. So A dot B, you can write it down over here at as is going to be equivalent to, write it down like this, AX I cap plus AY j cap plus AZ k cap dot thick dot means we are trying to perform dot product in between them. Dot of BX I cap plus BY j cap, isn't it? We can write it down it as BY j cap, isn't it? So write it down, BY j cap plus BZ k cap, like this. So now what needs to be done? You know product of sums. That means first of all AX I cap needs to be multiplied with the entire 3. Like AX, like this we can write it down, isn't it? AX I cap, isn't it? First of all with BX I cap plus BY j cap plus BZ k cap, isn't it? Plus you know that you need to perform the operation. Plus now AY j cap needs to be multiplied with the sum of all these 3, isn't it? Those who knows this, those are aware about product of sums, they can give a thumbs up, hit the like button, isn't it? BZ k cap, isn't it? We are performing the dot of this as well. Plus now AZ k cap over here we are having. Now it needs to be multiplied with what else? We are going to be having BX I cap plus BY j cap plus BZ k cap. I hope it's clear. Those who are clear with this expression, the one which I have written it over here, they can give a thumbs up and hit the like button. After that I will mention what needs to be done. So what needs to be done everyone? After that we need to perform the operation, isn't it? You know that AX I cap into BX I cap I have to do, isn't it? So now let me tell you one thing. It's a shortcut method over here. I have already used this operation for a couple of times while denoting the magnitude of any vector. So now what needs to be done over here? We have to follow some operation. Always remember one thing, like unit vectors can be underwent with the process of dot product. Unlike unit vectors, won't be giving us any value if you try to perform dot product in between them. What I am trying to say over here is, let's try to understand this first. What I am trying to say is, it's a very interesting fact. We are trying to say that, okay, let's come back over here. We are trying to say over here, that is if I am going to perform, see you can write down the operations over here, that is I cap dot I cap, write down the operations. I cap dot I cap is going to be 1. Similarly, we can write down j cap dot j cap is going to be 1. K cap dot k cap is going to be 1. So, whereas unlike unit vectors, if I am trying to mention, that is going to be, you can write it down it as I cap dot j cap is going to be 0. J cap dot k cap is going to be 0, isn't it? And finally, you can say that k cap dot I cap or just the vice versa is going to be 0. So you have to remember this, isn't it? You need to remember this aspect, everyone. So I will give you this as 1000 stars worth of remembering this. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to be following this rule itself. So what we can write it down over here. So let's try to complete our product, everyone. So ax can be multiplied with only bx, isn't it? So I can write it down as ax bx. I cap is 1, it will vanish. Ax, if I multiply with by, it is going to be 0, isn't it? Ax by won't, because I cap dot j cap is 0, isn't it? Similarly, ax bz will become 0. Finally, ay bx will become 0. Ay by, we can write it down, right, isn't it? Ay by. Finally, ay, if I multiply with bz, it is going to be 0, because j cap dot k cap is 0 over here, isn't it? Last but not the least, az k cap, if I multiply this with bx I cap, it is going to be giving us 0, isn't it? Az into by, it will be 0. Finally, az into bz, we have to write it down. So like unit vectors will be only multiplied while following this operation. So this is going to be the answer. If I try to perform the dot products in between them, I will be getting it as ax bx plus ay by plus az bz. Nothing else, isn't it? So I could have written over here, as you can see, what I am trying to say is, because you know that these values, example, x, let's say x by is 0, isn't it? Then x bz, isn't it? Ax bz, that is also 0. Similarly, you can say ay bx is 0. Similarly, you can say that ay bz is 0, isn't it? Okay, just give me a moment. What exactly happened? I think so. Just hang on for a moment. I think so there is some updation which is going on. So okay, so let us complete that first over here. Okay, so there was an update. An update is happening actually in between the session. I hope you got it, everyone, what I was trying to say. I hope it's clear, right? Okay, just give me a moment where we were. I think so all the annotations got ended. Okay, so let's get started where we were talking about. So we were trying to perform the dot product of these two, isn't it? So once again, what we were getting over here, I hope it's clear, everyone. So we were getting over here as, right, we were getting over here as, you can recall that a dot b, we tried to perform an operation and we got it as ax bx plus ay by plus az bz, isn't it? So now you can recall, everyone, once again I will write down the short form over here, that is I cap dot I cap is 1, I cap dot j cap is 0, I cap dot k cap is 0. Similarly, j cap dot j cap is 1, isn't it? J cap dot k cap is 0, isn't it? Then you can say j cap dot I cap is 0. Then k cap dot k cap is 1, k cap dot j cap is 0 and k cap dot I cap is 0. Based upon this, we try to perform this operation, and over here I just considered that a vector is ax I cap. For your notes, note purpose, I am writing down once again. Okay, for your note purpose, I am just trying to write it down once again. I believe that you all are following the notes. If yes, give a thumbs up. So this is ay j cap plus az k cap, isn't it? B vector is going to be equivalent to bx I cap, I chose, plus by j cap plus bz k cap. So now you can see that once again, what is the note over here? Like unit vectors are going to be undergoing the operation of dot product, whereas unlike unit vectors won't be giving us any finite result after undergoing the operation of dot product, isn't it? So that's what we have known over here. So now example, this is a very common example over here, that is W stands for the work done. So work done, you know that it's a scalar quantity, isn't it? So now always remember one thing, that if A and B are two vectors and if they are undergoing dot product operation, the parameter or the vector quantity won't be getting, it's not going to be resulting into any vector quantity, because the dot product of two vectors are going to be scalar. Like I've already mentioned, we already classified about vectors and scalars, and I already mentioned that work done is a scalar quantity. So that is what I'm trying to mention it over here. I hope it's clear. So now you can also write down over here that there is one more property. What does it mean? Let's say A dot B, if I'm writing down A dot B, thick dot means dot product. Over here, this thick dot means we are undergoing the operation of dot product, isn't it? So now this A dot B, you can write it down it as modulus of A, thin dot means we are trying to multiply that, okay. So A, B cosine of theta. So you can write down this as another formula, that A dot B can be also written as, you know that mod A is A, mod B is B, cosine of theta. So this is also a 1000 stars worth equation. And of course this was supposed to be 1000 stars worth equation, isn't it? So this is also 1000 stars worth equation over here. I hope it's clear. If yes, give a thumbs up. Isn't it, everyone? Okay. So shall we proceed to some rules associated over here? So we can proceed to some rules associated over here for dot products. Okay. So let's get started with the rules associated with the dot product. So always remember one thing, that dot product is always, you can write down these notes, dot product is always a scalar, which I have already mentioned. Two vectors are going to be undergoing the operation of dot product, and after that, yes, exactly, Rajesh Yadav, it is similar, but we are going to be getting, unlike unit vectors, are going to be undergoing the operation and will be giving us 0. Okay, Rajesh Yadav. Okay, so now you can see that it's always a scalar which is positive if an angle between the vector is acute, means theta is less than 90 degree, and negative if the angle between them is obtuse. You know that 90, the angle is going to be varying in between 90 and 180. Dot product is a commutative prop in nature. We have already discussed about this commutation, about you can recall, we already discussed about it in the context of addition of two vectors, isn't it? A plus B is equal to B plus A. The same thing is applicable over here, means dot product is commutative, means A dot B is equivalent to B dot A. Product is distributive, and A dot B, once again we also discussed about this distributive property as well in the context of addition of vectors, everyone. So the same thing, that is A dot B plus C is going to be giving us A dot B plus A dot C. So according to the definition I've already mentioned, A dot B is AB cos theta over here, where A and B are the magnitudes. You can write down that what are A and B? A and B are the magnitudes, isn't it? We are talking about the magnitudes over here. So that is what I wrote it down over there. We are discussing about the magnitudes of A and B multiplied by cosine of theta over here. Okay, so now the next is going to be the angle between the vectors. Theta can be written as cos inverse of A vector dot B vector by AB, because you know, right, from here, from this expression itself, you can conclude that cosine of theta, just cross multiply it, you will be getting it as A dot B divided by the mod of A and B. The magnitudes of A and B should be multiplied in the denominator section of this expression. Okay, scalar product of two vectors will be maximum when the angle between them is theta 0 degrees, isn't it? That means when the two vectors are parallel. So that's why this topic is going to be recalled once again when your respected sir or madam is going to be teaching you the concept of work power energy, which is there in your JEE main and advanced curriculum. you need to know work done, isn't it? So during that time it is going to be repeated, but there won't be any repetition about dot product, isn't it? Because I am the one to teach you dot product right now. Okay, so now what I will be saying over here is, this is vectors, that is vectors are parallel. How can we imagine that? We can imagine that like this. Let's try to give an example over here. We are considering, let's say we are having, what we are having, everyone? We are having, okay, we are having a horizontal surface, and let's say there was a block of mass m was being placed. This is a block of mass m. So now it was being pushed from one of the points to another point by the application of some force, isn't it? So now what we are doing is, we are trying to push it by the means of some force, let's say F. So as a result of that, what will happen? The position or the coordinates of this block of mass will be changing, isn't it? Because initially it is going to be at, let's say, x is equal to 0. And after a while you will be finding the existence of this block of mass m at x is equals to, let's say, L. Okay, so can I say that some displacement was being underwent by this block? Isn't it? We can say that some displacement is being underwent by this block. So how to calculate the work done? Work done is going to be the dot product of force and displacement. So I can write down in this case, work done, you know that is F dot S. You can write it down it as Fs. What is the angle? You can see that the force vector is along the positive direction of x-axis, and the displacement vector is also along the positive direction of x-axis, isn't it? So you can write down the force vector is Fi cap, and the displacement vector over here is xi cap. So if I just try to perform the operation, you can write it down over here as Fs cosine of 0, which is going to be giving us as F into S. So work done is going to be equivalent to force into displacement. So from there itself you can make this thing out accordingly. So this concept is going to be taught in work per energy, but I am giving you the basics of it. Work done is just a scalar quantity. You cannot determine the direction of it, isn't it? So you cannot determining the direction of work done. So that's why it makes work done to be a scalar quantity. It will be only associated with some magnitude, and its units, you know that is joules, isn't it? I hope you are able to understand this. Yes, Ramu, what's your doubt? You can ask, what's your doubt? Yes, everyone? If yes, give a thumbs up. And if you are having any doubts, you can post it over there. I'm waiting for it. Okay? Okay, fine. So, okay, fine. Let's proceed. So now, and you know that when you can say that work done will be negative. Work done can be also negative when the force and displacement are anti-parallel. If you can recall, I mentioned about anti-parallel vectors, negative vectors, isn't it? So when they are going to be anti-parallel in nature, we can say that work done is going to be minimum over here. When is college? College starts after 10th of May. 10th of May, I think so, you will be having the last day of your bridge course, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So obviously it is going to be started after 10th of May 2025 itself. Yes, exactly, Venkateshwara Naidu. Tomorrow we'll discuss about cross products, and example of it is torque, angular momentum, isn't it? All of these are cross product. It will be giving us a vector. The product is going to be yielding us a vector itself. Okay, fine. So let's proceed to the next context over here. So another points, you can say the same operation it is being given. See, the same operation I did. But first of all, you can see that scalar product of a vector by itself is determined by the self dot product, isn't it? A dot A means A square. This is what we are talking about. That's how you can determine the magnitude. So someone asked me in the previous class, I think so Deshmukh asked me, sir, why are we writing this, isn't it? Why are we writing this, isn't it? If you can recall, why we are not using I cap, J cap under square root. So here comes your answer. So if let's say I'm trying to perform A is, let's say, AXI cap plus AY J cap plus AZ K cap, isn't it? So now if I try to perform the magnitude of A vector, which can be written as under square root of Ax I cap, right? We are writing down the unit vectors actually along with it. But what is happening? You are able to comprehend it on your own, isn't it? That Az k cap whole square, isn't it? So what is happening over here? Something mysterious is not happening. We have already discussed about it. So I cap dot I cap is becoming 1. J cap dot J cap is becoming 1. Similarly, K cap dot K cap is becoming 1 itself over here. So that's why we are writing it down it as Ax square plus Ay square plus Az square. So that's how you can write down the mod of A over here. So that's why I will be taking the unit vectors associated to write down the magnitude of any vector quantity, but that I cap dot I cap, J cap dot J cap, K cap dot K cap will disappear. I hope it's clear, everyone, about this one. If yes, give thumbs up, hit the like button. In case of unit vector n cap, okay, that is n cap dot n cap is 1 into 1 cosine of 0. That's why it's going to be 1, isn't it? The same thing is applicable for this, which we have already discussed over here. This point we have already discussed it over here, isn't it? See that thing. We have already discussed about this point over here. And the last term which is being given over here in terms of components, A is equal to Ax I cap plus Ay J cap plus Az K cap, and B is equal to Bx I cap plus By J cap plus Bz K cap is equal to this expression, which I am getting it over here. The same expression I proved it over here, isn't it? The same thing I got it over here, isn't it? This is what I wrote it down. I performed the operation before the system was updating, isn't it? If you can recall, the same thing we did already. Okay. So now we are going to be solving some questions. So this is what your theory is all about, because we have seen that the ground reality can be only checked once we initiate solving problems based upon the concept. Because without solving questions, we have known the theory is not going to be known to us. Okay, we'll be still having certain doubts, suspicions on us. So that's why let's come with this question. Let's try to solve this question over here. If A vector is 4i cap plus nj cap minus 2k cap and B vector is 2i cap plus 3j cap plus k cap, then find the value of n such that A is perpendicular to B. So can anyone tell me the answer to this? Srikar, we cannot visualize any dot product. You just have to say that the result of the two vectors undergoing dot product has to be a scalar quantity. Work done is one example. Similarly, you are going to be dealing with some other physical quantities as well, such as flow rate. Flow rate is area into velocity associated with any fluid, which you are going to be learning in fluid dynamics. Similarly, there comes electric flux, which you are going to be studying in electrostatics. Thereafter, you will be coming across concepts like magnetic flux in the chapter named as electromagnetic induction. So that's the reason you need to visualize that something is existing which is a scalar quantity. It will be giving us a magnitude of value, but we cannot say that work done or electric flux or magnetic flux, flow rate, they exist in nature, but they won't be having a direction. That's why, right, it is known as scalar quantity, isn't it? Yes or no, everyone? You say, you people have to answer me this. Okay, -2. Chalo, sahi jawab hai shayad. Dekhte, let's try to find it out. So, perpendicular means A dot B, you know that is AB cos theta, isn't it? So, what does it mean? Theta over there is perpendicular, they are saying, right? So, can I write it down this as A dot B is equal to AB cosine of 90. So what is cosine of 90? Write it down over there in the chat box, everyone. What do you understand by this cosine of 90? What do you think? So that is going to be equivalent to 0, isn't it? That has to be equivalent to 0 itself over here. So as a result, you can say that A dot B is equivalent to 0 over here. So now let's try to perform the operation. Operation is being stated as 4i cap plus nj cap, isn't it? Minus 2k cap. Thick dot means we are trying to perform the dot product, isn't it? Dot 2i cap plus 3j cap plus k cap is equivalent to 0. We need to solve the dot product. Now can you write down the dot product answer over there in the chat box? Can you write down the dot product answer over there in the chat box? The equation I'm asking about, everyone. What do you think it has to be? Nikhil, I'm asking you to write down the expression of the dot product, not cos 90, and not the answer. What I'm asking is 4.2. We can only multiply 4 with 2, isn't it? Because they are having the same unit vectors. 4 2s are 8. N can be multiplied with 3 itself. So what I will be writing it down it as plus 3n. And what else? 2 can be multiplied with 1. Minus 2 can be multiplied with 1, isn't it? So that is minus 2 is equal to 0. So 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 plus 3n is equals to 0. So operate it. 6 is equals to minus 3n. So n is going to be 6 by minus 3. So what I will be getting? That is minus 2, isn't it? Those who are getting minus 2, they can give a thumbs up. That is 6 by minus of 3, which is equal to minus of 2. So the value of n for which A will be perpendicular to B, that is going to be equivalent to minus 2. Isn't it? So that's what you have to do. Whenever you are getting this type of questions, find the value of n, find the value of m. There are previous year JEE main questions as well. Okay, so I will be asking you to solve those questions once I display the questions over there in front of you all. But now you're already aware about the concept that whenever you are being asked this type of situations, to find out an unknown unit vector associated in that vector itself when they're perpendicular, you need to use A dot B is equal to 0. That is AB cosine of 90. That's what we have to do over here. Okay, everyone, done? So if yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button. And please don't chat unnecessary things over here. Okay. Got it? So shall we proceed to the next question? If yes, give a thumbs up. So shall we proceed to the next question, everyone? Okay, fine. Let's try to proceed to the next question. This is a question, everyone. Let's see who will be able to solve this very easy, simple question. कौन बनाएगा बताओ, आंसर बताओ. Force acts on a body, displaces by S. Find out work done. Can you give me the answer to this question? Give me the answer to this question, everyone. I'm waiting for your answer. RSR Gaming, once again I would like to explain the dot product over here in this question. That's what I believe. From there itself you can understand that once again. क्या होना चाहिए दोनों का? Work done is same questions will be there. You will be finding this type of questions in work power energy chapter as well. But now you try to solve this. Achha, 18 joules. 18 joules. Okay, fine. Let's try to find it out whether it's 18 joules or not. So what do we have to do? We need to perform work done is force dot displacement, isn't it? That means work done is going to be equivalent to what is force? 2i cap plus 3j cap dot thick dot का मतलब dot product. Thin dot means multiplication. Okay. Dot what we are having? 3i cap plus 4j cap. What I will be getting? 2 can be multiplied with 3, isn't it? So 2 into 3, 6. 2 cannot be multiplied with 4 because they are having unlike unit vectors. What we are having the like unit vectors, 3 can be multiplied with 12. That is 3 into 4, which is 12. So what we are going to get? 18 joules. What is joules? Joules is the SI unit of work done or energy. I believe that everyone knows about it. Joules is the SI unit of work done or energy, isn't it? I hope it's clear. This is a very easy question. This should have been solved previously prior to this question. But I believe that this is more realistic situation. I hope you got it. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button, isn't it? And shall we proceed to the next question? Shall we proceed to the next question? What do you say? Okay, chalo, start karte. So yes, Tulsi Krishna. So did you go through those questions whose answers were coming out to be different. The previous year questions, I asked you all right to check those two questions, root 3a plus b, and another one, b vector was being subtracted to a vector, if you can recall. So did you go through those questions? Okay, so what did you find? There is a key mistake, right? Root 3a plus b should have been the question, isn't it? Okay, so let's proceed to the next question, everyone. There comes the next question. Let's see who amongst you will be able to solve this. This is another question to you all. A force of 14 newtons acts on a particle. From there itself we will be able to... Yes, Tulsi Krishna, what happened? Why are you saying sorry to me? For what reason you are sorry? Yes, Yash Deshmukh, you should be practicing with H.C. Verma. H.C. Verma used to be considered as a very important book when we used to prepare for JEE examination. During our time, 2011, it used to be IIT JEE instead of JEE Advanced and IIEEE instead of JEE Main. Okay, but everyone, yes, everyone used to get a chance to write the IIT JEE examination. Okay, there were no such limitations like once you are scoring a threshold percentile, then only you will be allowed to appear for JEE Advanced. Okay, you can go and check it once. Who checked those questions? They can write it down over there in the chat box. Those who check the questions, they can write it down over there in the chat box, everyone. I'm waiting for them. Dipshika, I haven't checked the NEET paper of yesterday. If I have, what I have heard is that the paper was difficult. Okay. So, but I haven't checked it, honestly. Dipshika. Okay. And of course, see, previously NEET examination is a difficult examination. Till 2019, the paper used to be having its level equivalent to JEE Main. There was a drastic decrement in the level of the question paper due to COVID, nothing else. So once again, it returned back to its original difficulty level. So that's really great to see that. And the same thing will be applicable for you all as well in 2027. JEE Main obviously will be having various patterns. Some shift will be very easy, some of the shift will be very difficult. It depends upon the situation. And you all are going to be trained by us in such a way that you will be getting a better understanding of the curriculum, isn't it? Okay, so now let's try to proceed to the next question. Yes, what do you think is going to be the answer to this? A force of 14 newtons acts on a particle along the vector 3i cap plus 2j cap minus 6k cap. If the particle displaces from this, the work done W is equal to F dot S on the particle will be what? What do you think? Write it down in the chat box, everyone. What do you think? You should be writing down the answer in the chat box. Option 2. Okay, let's try to see option 2 or not. Option 2, everyone's getting option 2. Okay, option 2, that's correct itself. Let's try to find it out. Okay, so it's going to be equivalent to, you can write down R vector. So first of all, you need to find out the unit vector associated with force. First of all, you need to find out the unit vector associated with force. What needs to be done? A dot. Okay, so how to find out the unit vector? The magnitude of the force is already being given to us. That means you can say that F cap will be written as, isn't it? F vector actually we are trying to find out. F vector निकालना है ना? तो F vector कैसे निकलेगा? So you can write down F vector is going to be, the magnitude is being given, and now we need to find out the direction. You know that any vector is associated with a magnitude and a direction, isn't it? The same thing is applicable over here. So now, what is the magnitude? 14. What is the direction? That's why they have given you this vector to find out the direction of this. Force vector is along this vector. So the direction has to be along that vector itself, isn't it? After 10th, Varshit. So now you can write it down it as 14 into 3i cap plus 2j cap minus of 6k cap divided by square root of 3 square plus 2 square plus minus of 6 square, isn't it? Yes or no, everyone? That's how you have to write it down, isn't it? So now what needs to be done? Just try to solve this. Force vector is going to be 14, 3i cap plus 2j cap minus of 6k cap, isn't it? What will be the magnitude? 9 plus 4 plus 36. कितना होता है? What will be the square root of this? I will be getting it as, write down the value over there. The denominator section, try to write down the value over there in the chat box. Let's see what you are going to write it down. Yes? I'm waiting for the answer, everyone. 7. 7 means it is 14, 3i cap plus 2j cap minus 6k cap divided by square root of 49. What is square root of 49? That is 7, isn't it? So you can write it down it as 14, 3i cap plus 2j cap minus of 6k cap divided by 7. And over here we are having 14. Magnitudes can be divided, multiplied accordingly, isn't it? So you can write it down over there as 2. So force vector, you can write it down over here. That is force vector what we are getting. We'll do the operation here as well. Okay. So what we are going to get, force vector, that means force vector is equal to 2 into 3. See this thing, everyone. This is what we were discussing in the initial moments of today's lecture session. If you can recall, isn't it? क्या हो जाएगा? 6i cap, multiplication of a scalar. Scalar is 2 with a vector which is 3i cap plus 2j cap minus of 6k cap. What I will be getting? 6i cap plus 4j cap minus of 12k cap, isn't it? So this is the force vector. I hope everyone's getting this. 2 into 3, 6. 2 into 2, 4. 2 into 6, that is minus of 12 over here. So this needs to be performed with a dot product along with this displacement vector. Now, how to find out the displacement vector? Now, I must be thinking that every one of you gave me the answer. That's 52. Okay. Let's say that 52 is the answer. Let's try to check that whether we are getting 52 or not. So now if we are going to be given two coordinates, how to write down the vector in between the coordinates? There is something which you are going to be learning in motion in 2 dimension, that is known as position vector. So we are supposed to write down the position vector for this. In order to write down the position vector, what we have to do, if we are having two coordinates, let's say we are having two coordinates x1, y1, comma z1 and x2, y2, z2. These are two coordinates and we need to write down the value of, or you can say the expression associated with the position vector. How to write down the position vector? So you can say that r vector is the position vector, can be written as x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap plus z2 minus z1 k cap. Okay, what is r over here? In this context, you can say that this r is nothing but the position vector. So in this question which they have asked you to find out the displacement vector, we are nothing but trying to find out the value of the displacement vector itself. So what we are going to do, what needs to be done over here? So you can write it down over here as there are two coordinates. What are the coordinates? 0, 0, 0, 2, 4, minus 2. So what is going to be the displacement vector? Write down the displacement vector over there in the chat box, everyone. Let's see who amongst you will be able to write down the expression of displacement vector correctly. Likhiye everyone, waiting for it apart from mentioning about IPL. Please try to write down, everyone. I am waiting for it. (24 minus 2). इसको मान लीजिए, this is x1, this is y1, this is z1, this is x2, this is y2, this is z2. Follow that operation. What I will be getting? So the displacement vector, which is s vector over here, that is 2 minus 0 I cap. plus 4 minus 0 j cap plus, isn't it, minus 2 minus 0 k cap. I hope it's clear. So S vector over here is going to be written as 2i cap plus 4j cap minus 2k cap. I hope it's clear. Is everyone getting this? If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button, everyone. Are you getting the value of displacement vector like this? 2i cap plus 4j cap minus 2k cap. Yes or no? Yes, चलिए बताइए, thumbs up दीजिए. I'm waiting for your response, because without a response I won't be proceeding. Okay? Okay, great. So now what we have to do, we need to perform the dot product in between them. क्या होगा? Dot product. In other words, you are being asked to perform F dot S. So let's try to write it down like this. This is F dot S. Thick dot means dot product, which is going to be 6i cap plus 4j cap minus of 2lk cap dot thick dot. This is 2i cap plus 4j cap minus 2k cap. क्या होना चाहिए? 6 into 2, 6 will be multiplied by 2 itself, 12. 4 will be multiplied by 4 itself, 16, and this will be 24, which is going to be कितना? 28 plus 24. कितना हो जाएगा? 8 plus 4, 12, which is 52 joules is going to be the answer to this question. If yes, give a thumbs up. I'm waiting for your response, everyone. So that's how you need to do. This is actually, this type of questions are there. This is, you will be finding the same type of question as your JEE Main previous year question. But yes, miraculous thing is that this is a question on the context of work power energy, which is yet to be done. But it is based upon dot products itself. So there is nothing need to be worried about. So these type of questions you will be getting in your work power energy chapter as well. Okay, I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear, everyone. Okay, so fine. So let's try to solve. Anything else? Any doubt? If you can ask, if you're having any doubt. So let's try to solve another question. Let's see that who will be able to solve one question. I will try to check your progress instead. Okay, whether you are able to solve addition of vectors or not. चलिए ये question कर दीजिए. There's another question over here. Let's see that who will be able to get this answer. And you will be the one to answer me this question. Let's see. So this is the question, everyone. If A and B are two vectors satisfying the relation A dot B. Okay, A cross B आ गया ना, तो you don't know actually cross product. Okay, so forget that. Let's try to solve this question over here. Okay, let's see who will be able to solve this. Two vectors P and Q have equal magnitudes. Okay, because you don't know this one, I believe that we can solve this question once we are aware about this A cross B. Okay, so till that time, okay, everyone is answering C. Okay, we'll try to find out, figure it out tomorrow. I haven't discussed about A cross B yet. Okay. Okay, so A cross B क्या होता है वैसे? Tomorrow we are going to be discussing about cross products. So I will mention that A cross B is AB sin theta. A cross B is AB sin theta. Like that itself you can solve it. Got it? So we'll try to solve it tomorrow, and I think so B has to be the answer. Okay, B चलो सब लिख ही दिया है तो चलो बना ही देते हैं. A cross B means it's a cross product they are trying to say. This is cross product, which is going to be a topic of discussion for tomorrow. That's going to be a topic of discussion for tomorrow. Okay, this is a cross product, everyone. So लिख लीजिए इसको. This is cross product. So you can say that A cross B is nothing but, tomorrow I will discuss about this, that is AB sine of theta. Okay, so now what is A dot B? A dot B is AB cos theta, isn't it? So we need to equate them. That is, over here you are having A dot B means AB cos theta, and A cross B is AB sine of theta. theta over here, isn't it? So AB gets cancelled out. I will be getting tan theta as 1. Theta will be tan inverse of 1, which is 45 degrees. Okay. Now they are asking us to find out what is A minus B. You can see that it was being asked in 2021. It's a JEE main question. Okay. So A minus B, you can write it down it as, you know the formula very well, isn't it? Sabko formula. Likhiye formula. Everyone is insisted to write down the equation associated with A minus of B vector. What do you think it's going to be? That is square root of A square plus B square minus of 2AB cos theta, isn't it? Theta over here is 45 degrees. Put the value of theta as 45 degrees over here. So what I will be getting? That is going to be A square plus B square minus of 2AB cos of 45. So that is going to be square root of A square plus B square minus of 2AB by 1 by root 2. So root 2 times root 2 is 2, isn't it? So I will be getting the final answer over here as this, isn't it? That is A square plus B square minus of root 2 into AB. I hope you got it. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button. So that is going to be A square plus B square, isn't it? Minus of square root of 2 into AB. This is going to be the answer. Okay. I hope it's clear, everyone. Anything else? So, okay. So, that's it for. I want your response, everyone. So, this will be done tomorrow. This is going to be our tomorrow's discussion. Tomorrow's discussion, everyone. A cross B. What is the significance of A cross B? We need to understand it tomorrow. Rajesh Yadav, A cross B is AB sin theta. We'll discuss it tomorrow. Okay. So anyways, we already solved a question which is based upon both dot product and cross product. We'll try to solve some more questions which is based upon dot product. There are very important questions which are based upon it. Okay. Then you will be having a better idea. Chaliye, ye kar lete hain, isn't it? Okay. Let's try to solve this question. Brainstorming, everyone. Let's try to find out this. What do you think will be the answer to this question? You have 3 minutes. We can easily solve this. Two vectors, I cap plus 2mj cap plus mk cap and q vector 4i cap minus 2j cap plus mk cap are perpendicular to each one of them. Find the value of m. Yes, give me the answer. I am waiting for you to answer to this question. Venkateshwara, in the morning I am busy while taking offline classes at my Vagdevi campus over here in Hyderabad. So that's the reason these classes are being conducted in the evening, in order to make you understand and usher the concepts in a smooth fashion, because I believe that you people are going to be energetic at this point of time itself, because I have seen kids are going to be going outside to play cricket or football or any other sport, isn't it? Option D. So what is being given? We are being asked to find out what is the value of m. They are perpendicular to each one of them. Option D. Option D, sabka. Okay, let's try to find it out. That what does it mean? We need to perform P dot Q is PQ cos 90, where P and Q are the magnitudes of this vector, isn't it? This is going to become 0. So P dot Q is going to be equal to 0, isn't it? So this is going to become I cap plus 2mj cap, isn't it? Plus mk cap dot 4i cap minus 2j cap plus mk cap is going to be equal to 0. Thick dot means we are trying to perform the dot product. So what I will be getting? I cap can be multiplied with 4i cap itself. I will be getting it as 4. 2m can be multiplied with minus 2j cap itself, because they are having the like unit vectors associated with them. That is minus of 4m, and k cap can be multiplied with k cap itself. It's going to be m square is going to be 0. So we are getting a quadratic equation, right? Minus 4m plus 4 is equal to 0. Now you can use minus b plus minus, isn't it? That is m1, m2, the two values you will be getting. That is 4 plus minus square root of 16 minus of 4 into 1 into 4, isn't it? By 2 into A. So what I will be getting? 4 plus minus 16, isn't it? So this is going to be minus 16 itself by 2, that is 4 by 2. I will be getting only one value, which is 2, because 16 minus 16 is 0 over here. Okay, so that's it for today, everyone. I hope it's clear. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button, keep on hitting it, because tomorrow we are going to be coming across with vector products or cross products. Okay. Swapna, Lamy's theorem has already been mentioned while teaching the types of vectors in concurrent vectors. I have already mentioned about Lamy's theorem. Swapna. Okay, if yes, I will be explaining it once again tomorrow with a problem. I will be coming with a problem tomorrow. Swapna. You can watch the concurrent vectors over there. I explained Lamy's theorem. That is known as sine rule. Can you recall sine rule, everyone? Those who can recall sine rule, they can give a thumbs up and hit the like button for sure. So tomorrow we are going to be discussing about vector products, cross products. Anyways, I have already given you a brief definition of it. A cross B is AB sine theta. We'll try to find out what do we actually mean by A cross B in the next class. Okay, so what else? If you want to ask anyone, you can ask. If you want to discuss anything, we can ask until unless maths class gets started. So let's try to have a discussion about anything if you want. Yes, recurvity, correct. That's what sine rule is all about. You can draw three concurrent forces, three concurrent vectors, isn't it? And then you can try to write down like that, isn't it? Anything else? College will be opened after 10th itself, my friends. It will be, definitely it will be starting after 10th. Once your bridge course curriculum is going to be ending, after that you can enjoy your college days. College days are going to be really interesting once if you are acquired this context of the basics, whatever we have been discussing so far. Physics will be the most interesting. Trust me, physics will be the most interesting, and for engineers, for JEE aspirants, physics is the most scoring part as compared to chemistry and maths. So if you make physics to be your strength, you will succeed in your future like anything. And now definitely maths is important. Maths is the threshold. Without mathematics, you won't be able to understand physics. That's for sure. Okay, Lakshmikant Reddy, any Telugu dialogue? Oh, okay. That I should have said if I, along with my beard, isn't it? Right now I'm not having any beard associated with me, so I cannot say about it. Okay, fine then, departing right now. Everyone, will be meeting you tomorrow. It's Avinav Banerjee for you. If you have liked the lecture session, you can hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to our Sri Chaitanya YouTube channel. We'll be back once again tomorrow at 4 p.m. with the context of vector products, where the product is going to be a vector quantity with certain examples like torque, angular momentum, etc. So thank you very much. Good evening, good night.